What up, this is Ludacris, and you tuned into the hottest radio show in South Korea. This is Night Vibe with Pinnacle the Hustler and Elliott Ashby, Entrepreneur.
We got to know, Ishmael, Tendai, when did you first fall in love with hip-hop?
I first fell in love with hip-hop, I would have to say, well, I was alive when Rapper's Delight came out, you know what I'm saying, which is kind of known as the first hip-hop song. But to me, there was a Last Poet song called E Pluribus Unum on one of their albums that came out that I heard when I was very young. And that was the first rap record that I fell in love with, Last Poets.
For me, I can't really say when, because I was always breaking and bopping, you know. I can't really remember, plus music was such a part of my life that, you know, I don't really remember, but I remember the era of, you know, listening to a show back in Seattle called K-Fox Fresh Tracks with a guy by the name of Nasty Ness. So I just used to listen to that all the time on Sundays and, you know, listen to all the battles that were happening in New York. Roxanne Shante, Slick Rick, you know, in the Run DMC, everybody. So
researching how you guys first met and what the interaction was like, and how basically one of you was more interested in making music than the other. I'm curious, how did things turn around?
Well, it just is at that point in my life, I was just very sad, you know what I mean, and somewhat devastated. And things like making music and stuff was sitting on the back burner to me, or basically they was inconsequential, truth be told. But the love of the music was inside of me, and I had just gotten away from it. So basically through meeting him and through that friendship, I came back to myself and came back to the music, basically, you know, through that.
I mean, at the time, I wasn't in a dark place, you know, but I wanted to make music, but I really didn't like the music industry, you know, and the way that it was going. And so I just asked him, let's get on some music, you know. And I mean, I didn't know at the time what he was going through because we weren't cool enough friends at the time. But years later, I ended up going through the same thing. So it ended up, you know what I'm saying, just being a part of life. It just is what it is, you know.
So you're saying at the time you guys weren't cool like that? Sorry, just a little throwback to the former life. A little throwback to the former life. He did say that.
Wait, time out. Did we make him laugh? What? We got that on camera, right? That's what's up. Now that I see some teeth, I feel a little more comfortable. You know what I'm saying? All right, so yeah, you guys have been on the road for quite some time, and I know there's always some crazy road stories. What is something else that has just made you bust out laughing? Like just some craziness that's happened while y'all been on the road. He got a story, and look, I saw the face right there. Look at his face. He like, oh man, you already know.
Which one do I tell? Which details do I leave out?
Man, the problem with that is the funniest stuff is stuff you can't really just be telling.
I was watching one of y'all videos, and I always look down to see YouTube comments because it's always the craziest stuff. And you know what two names I saw written? What two comparisons? They said Lil Wayne and Kanye West. And I was like, oh, word, really?
We all know what happened to me with Lil Wayne, I think. You know what I'm saying? We was at a show, whatever. What was it, Pitchfork? Yeah, and Tyler, the Creator, he cracked this joke. So I think that's where that whole comparison comes from. But there was a day we were walking down the street, and this guy did turn around and said, Kanye. And he almost knocked him out. He sucked the dude so hard. The dude was, I was like, hey, man. It was hilarious, though. But, yeah, that did happen, man.
Always make fun of people when you're with your friends, but you can't do it to where they hear it. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it between you and your people, because if they hear it, then you're getting disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? So the dude, he didn't understand those rules, but he probably does now.